Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Brand Marks the Spot. It's Tuesday, so that means we're going live here. And I hope you guys are doing okay. Again, this is the Brand Marks the Spot show that I go live every week. And it's a show all about how branding can help you grow your business and make you well known in your audience. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to cure brand envy once and for all. And if you don't know what brand envy is, well, it's basically when you're comparing your comparisonitis. Some people call it imposter syndrome, which is similar but not exactly the same. But brand envy is when you're really comparing yourself to others in your industry or to just other peers, and you're comparing your brands to theirs and how awesome theirs might be, and you find yourself constantly, stalking them online and doing all those things as well. And I'm just going to make sure I'm coming in live here. Yeah, perfect. So so that's what today's show is about, is how to cure your brand envy. And today's show is brought to you by my new template pack, Create a Lead Magnet That Doesn't Suck template pack. And this is actually one way that you can help cure your brand envy, is by having a professional looking lead magnet. So whenever you're putting your stuff out there to grow your list, you want it to look professional. And this template pack is going to help you do that. And it's a 30 plus page template pack for several different types of lead magnets. And it's going to have some bonuses in there for some like Facebook ads templates, Facebook header templates, and mock-up templates, as well as a crash course in Canva training. So it's really like a mini course all in one. And you can go ahead and grab that at patricksesko.com/lead magnet. And that's what we got going for today. Let me come back on camera. And so, like I said, today's episode, we're going to be talking about brand envy. And I'm just going to go into a little bit of what brand envy is. Brand envy is basically like, you could be starting out. Typically newer or just, growing entrepreneurs might be experiencing this more than your established ones. But it's basically when you see other people, either your competitors or just other people in the online space who have these awesome brands, and you're like, you go to their website or you go to their social, and it's like everything is like perfect and polished and curated, and it's just beautiful. And you're just then you go to look at your stuff, you're kind of like, my stuff is, it looks like crap, or it looks like a 5-year-old did it, or you're embarrassed by it, or you have this brand shame, and then you're envious of their brands, hence the term brand envy. And you kind of get timid because of it, and you end up not putting your stuff out there because of it, and it really holds you back. And it's like, I even experience it, right? It's like sometimes I catch myself, doing that too. It's like, man, that guy's stuff is really good, but I've been doing this for 25 years, so I'm a little bit more seasoned in terms of how to deal with it. But yeah, sometimes you see, competitors, or just other peers in the space who really got their shit together, and you're just like, man, that's awesome. So sometimes you can look at it as an inspirational thing. It's like, man, that's pretty awesome. You can aspire to that. Or, sometimes you can let it hold you back. So it's how you frame it in your business. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about. So there's going to be a handful. I think I have 5 ways that you can help cure your brand envy. And the first one is, you have to determine what the underlying problem is, right? So basically, what is holding you back, right? Do you find yourself, when you're working and you go to put your stuff out there, and you find yourself sort of like hesitating to put the stuff out there, whether it's a PDF for your lead magnet, whether it's doing a live like this, whether it's putting up social media posts, whether it's doing anything on Instagram, like whether it's, putting out an offer to your audience, or you're sharing your web pages with people because you're concerned about that's not going to look good, or you're not going to be good enough. So what's holding you back? Like, do you find yourself procrastinating? I've been guilty of this. You see my guitar over there. Sometimes when I'm doing stuff, I'm like, I'm going to go play my guitar for 15 minutes, right? And then just like, you look back on that and you're like, well, why am I doing that? Like, why am I hesitating? Why am I procrastinating? So do you constantly like find yourself, when it goes to put yourself out there, like finding something else to do? Oh, I have to go to the bathroom. Oh, I'm going to get a snack. Oh, I'm going to get a cup of coffee. Speaking of which, Going to get a cup of coffee here. If you're here live, drop in, say hi, where you're from, or if you're watching a replay, do a hashtag replay. Um, so is it this imposter syndrome that you find yourself like thinking about, like, oh man, their stuff is so awesome, I suck, blah blah blah, right? So who am I to be doing this? And like I go through this as well. This is a roller coaster of a thing. It's like if online entrepreneurship was so easy, everybody would be successful at it. And it is a daily roller coaster of 1 minute you're flying high, you're like, awesome, I helped this client get this result. And the next day you're like, man, I suck. So it's really important to keep that mindset in a positive light. And, obviously, uh, get into some online groups or some peers and some mentors and things like that to help you maintain that positive mindset. So again, just like you're feeling jealous, what is the underlying problem? Is it because your brand sucks? Is it because you don't think you're good enough? Right. So if you're a business, you got to promote yourself, right? And if you are embarrassed or ashamed to promote yourself because of how your brand looks, you got to think about, well, what's stopping you from doing that, right? So you got to determine what the underlying problem is. So the second thing to help you cure your brand envy is you need to stay in your own lane. And what does that mean? Well, staying in your lane is just like, you got to just focus on what you're doing, right? Keep your eyes on your own paper. Um, do you think that your competition or your more successful peers are focusing on what you're doing? Like, probably not. There's a reason why they're more successful than you are, or at least perceived success, right? They're focusing on what they can be doing for themselves instead of focusing on what other people are doing, right? And this is an easy trap to fall into. you know I find myself doing that too sometimes. I'm not the only graphic designer and brand designer on the internet, for sure. And there's always going to be someone that's better than me, but there's always going to be somebody that's better than you. But you have to think about it in an ecosystem of your own audience, right? And this is why it's important to know who your audience is, because if you can connect with them and you can share with them and have impact with them, they're going to love you and they're going to promote you and they're going to share they're going to share you with their audiences. So it's okay to monitor your competition because you want to see how you fit in relation to them, your positioning, right? How are you going to position yourself in the field of all these people that are your competition? And it's okay to monitor them, and you have to, like I said, on some level, so you can see how you can differentiate yourself from them. But you want to create your own space that's relative to them, right? So this is kind of like focusing on what you're doing. If you have an idea, don't feel like you need to like go see what everybody else is doing, right? Like, I make templates in Canva that are branding templates, and there's 100 other people that do that as well. Are mine better than theirs? Maybe, maybe not. But it's all about how you promote it and how you provide value to your audience and what kind of impact and transformation you're going to have on them. So focus on what you're doing, monitor your competition just to see where you fit in there, and that to differentiate yourself. And then you can definitely stay in your own lane. So the next one is to focus on your customers. So what does that mean? Well, pretty much what it means: focus on your customers. The only thing that really matters, um, is what you bring to the table for your clients, right? Your clients don't care if your competitor's got a better brand than you. They care about getting the results that you are promising them. So if you focus on the transformation that you bring to them instead of how awesome somebody else's brand looks or all those kinds of things, that's how you're going to win the game. And when I say win the game, it's not really a game. It's not about winning or losing. It's about providing value. And if I always go back to the sneaker war, right? So if there's Nikes, Adidas, Pumas, all the different sneakers, and why do you think there's only one sneaker? Like, all these other sneakers are available. Obviously, Nike's probably the most popular one, but there's still Adidas. There's still, Saucony and, Asics and all these other different types of shoes that still are completely successful, um, because there's room for them and they serve a different audience because they might specialize in running shoes, right? So there's room for what you do, and there's room for your brand to be differentiated from others, even if it's the same field. So focus on the transformation you provide to your clients. So, and if you focus on that and you love up on your customers, they will love you for it. And this is really the impact that you have on your customers. And that's that's the main reason why you're in business, right? Is to have impact on your audience. All right. So the next way to help you cure brand envy is to revisit your why, right? What is the reason? Try to go back and think about, and sometimes, you forget this. Remember the reason you went into business to begin with. Like, why did you start your business? Did you have a big purpose? Was it for freedom? Was it to have more impact? Was it to, you provide for your family? What was that why? And try to reconnect with that. And just remind yourself of it often. I have a little post-it note next to my computer that just reminds me. And whenever I look at it, and I have a little picture of my family right here, you can't see it, but I'm reminded of that every day. This is why I'm here to do that. And it's also to, have an impact on the audience that I serve, because if you're making a difference in people's lives, it's very fulfilling. That's one of my whys. So half the battle is just your mindset, right? There's always going to be somebody, like I said before, who is better, faster, stronger. That's an old $6 million man reference, and I'm dating myself there. Flashier, etc. So they might have this great brand, they might have this huge audience, and they might have, you got to remember, these people who are more successful probably have teams working for them, and you might be working for yourself and doing everything by yourself. So give yourself some grace, revisit your why. And remember, as Simon Sinek famously has said, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So when you're putting yourself out there, let it be known what your why is. Let it be known what your values are and all those things. And that will, help you recenter yourself and not compare yourself to the other more successful peers and entrepreneurs. All right. The next one is do hard work. This is the last one, right? And everybody, it's like, oh, you got to do the work. There's no magic bullet to any of this, right? There's tactics and strategies and things like that you can learn as you go, and you're going to have to do the work to do it. But there's no like push a button and have it done and it's good, right? This takes time. If it were so easy, we would all have super successful businesses, and just we wouldn't even be having the brand envy, right? And or comparisonitis or imposter syndrome, whatever you want to call it. It's a daily struggle. I struggle with it. I know some of my other peers. It's pretty rare to have a peer that doesn't or hasn't struggled with it in the past. It's part of the process. It's a daily struggle. Like I said, the daily emotion can range from super highs to you're having your best month, to like helping a huge amount of customers and making a difference in their lives, to the next time you're like, you know what, screw this. I'm going to throw in the towel. I'm going to go look for another job because it's like, it's too hard, and we all go through that. And I go through that often. I've been doing this for 25 years. I've been a designer and I still go through this, right? Sometimes I catch myself, checking out competition or, checking out other designers or brand designers. Oh, wow, they got their stuff together, man. Oh, that's great. Wow, look at their audience is so big, or man, they have, they're making millions, or whatever, you're always comparing yourself. And you can't do that because it's just going to make you smaller. And if you stay in your own lane, you do the hard work, you focus in on what it really means and what it really matters to you and what you're doing, then you can kind of like, you recognize that, all right, they've got their stuff together. They're awesome. They're more successful, but that's okay. There's room for me too. And you know what? Those people that you're comparing yourself to were exactly where you are at one point. Remember that. No matter who, if you're looking at the biggest names in the business that you're in, or you're looking at somebody who's just a few steps ahead of you, they were always at some point where you are right now. And just remember that. So you just have to have that belief and that mindset that you're going to just stay in your own lane. So this cycle of like ups and downs can happen all even in the course of one day. And, it's crazy how it can affect you on an emotional level. But so it's hard work, and it's just almost like if you've ever been in therapy, it's kind of like doing therapy. So you have to dig in, do the hard work. One of the things you can do to help you do the hard work and to refocus your energy on your own business is to remember your values and live them in your business. Take time and effort to understand your audience and serve them. This doesn't happen overnight, right? These people that you're comparing yourself to have been around for a while. They have done the work. They have followed their audience. They have listened to their audience. They have made offers. They have had offers that have flopped. They have had failures. And all of those failures have led to the successes that they have. And it will happen for you too. And again, this is something I struggle with. I do it too. I compare myself to others also. I have my sulking moments too, like, I'm going to throw in the towel. But, it's like, it's a passion of mine to be doing this. And it's a passion of mine to have impact on others in business. And that's what I love. And I can't picture myself doing anything else. So I go back to it. I have my pity parties once in a while and I go back to it. So, you have to know your strengths as well. So just observe your audience, focus on them, do the work, write your blog posts, do your video shows every week. Sometimes I like this video show, I do it live every week. And sometimes, I'm up at 12 midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning the night before preparing to do the show, or I don't even know what I'm going to talk about sometimes. And, I don't write scripts because I know myself, right? I know my strengths, and my strengths are not writing scripts, because if I were to write scripts for these episodes, I would never do them. So it has to be bullet points and just general concepts that I talk about. And I just talk about it because I have the experience and I've done it for, so long. So that's how I do it. And that's how I show up. And that's who I am. Right. And that's my unique personality. So observe, rinse, and repeat. It's a never ending cycle. You only get better at it. So you may go up and then down, and then up a little bit more, and then down and up a little bit more, and then down. It's just a constant cycle that you always have to be doing the work. And, sometimes you don't want to do it. So hopefully that has helped you just sort of figure out how you're going to stop comparing yourself to other businesses, other online entrepreneurs. So just sort of to recap, stay in your lane, understand, revisit your why, do the hard work, and, monitor your competition, but don't compare yourself to them, because if you do, it's a losing game, right? So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you have a great week. If you guys are interested, I'm going to be doing some design brand VIP days where it's going to be like half day to full day sessions to where we vet out your entire starter brand from start to finish in one day. Because, speed to market is what really is important, instead of spending these long, 2-month design cycles. If you're interested in that, either comment below, say I'm interested, or just send me a direct message on the Facebook page and I'll get back to you. I'm going to be posting some stuff about it here in the coming weeks, but I just want to let you guys know about that. That's going to help you with your brand envy by having your brand foundations in place. So hit me up on the messenger or send me a direct message. And that's what I got for you this week. You guys have an awesome rest of the week, and we'll talk to you soon. Later.